Good morning, good afternoon. It's 12 noon here, so, either way. Really, that works either way. Jeff Africa's Last Dance. We are in the middle of, or the ending part of me coming up with a message. I'm supposed to be a cosmic messenger, so I better damn well get a message, okay? And let's round things up really quickly here. We've been going over the last few videos. This will be the last one in the series, and we'll get on to something else. Okay, my message to humanity. And I went to the beach yesterday, so I feel kind of refreshed. Sat in the sun, and it was fun. The last couple of days, I'm going to be able to do that before winter arrives, and it's, swimming in the ocean is quite unique, quite fun. A little afraid of sharks these days, I got to admit these, but that's all right. Okay, the consciousness form we are under, the ego-driven, separated mind state, separated prisoner mind state that we all suffer from is unacceptable and intolerable. We all have to start to realize that. We all do our best with it. Some people seem to handle it okay. Some people, we all keep ourselves so busy we don't have to face it. That is one way out. But it is unacceptable, and that's why we get high. Because that's why I got high. The idea of living in that prisoner mind state day in, day out, year in, year out, month in, month out, decade in, decade out, without some sort of release was unacceptable and intolerable, okay? It was. That's why we get high. We want to ask, why? That's a good question. Why do humans get high? Why, with this drinking or whatever it is, why are we so driven to get high? Okay? That's a lot of it right there. There are other traumatic events we try to avoid, things like that. But overall, this mind state we're set with is unacceptable and intolerable, and we're going to get rid of it. That's what this channel is all about. On this earth plane, doing this in this 3D reality, 2024 and before, 1900s, 1800s, doing this is more important than beingness, okay? The world of matter is more important than the world of spirit. Okay, the nominal world is more important than the phenomenal world. The mundane world is more important than the magical world, which is there lying for us. This whole world is alive. It's a magical place. We just don't see it because we're all involved in the world of matter. We think that is what is real, and only that. And we have to turn that around. Beingness and advancements in beingness are much more satisfying and long-lasting than anything we could do in this 3D world. Okay, anything. Well, I don't care what it is you think you want to do in this 3D world, and that's fine. We are here to do great things. But they remain meaningless if we don't make advancements in beingness. And if all you do is do stuff at the end of your life and you don't pertain to the beingness aspect of things, you're going to look back and wondering, what the hell was it really all about? What was it really all about? That's what you're going to be thinking. You're not going to know. It's all those victories you had in doing this are going to seem to belong to somebody else at that point. And you're going to wonder at that point, what was this really all about? You're not going to know. Okay? Trust me, okay? We don't think we're enough. We think we're small. We think we are incomplete. Insignificant. We just don't think enough of ourselves, so we tend to create and craft a persona to make up for that. That's what our ego convinces us to do. Create and craft a persona to present to the world that we are something more than what we feel our insecure, fear-oriented self is. Okay, so we put up a false self, to mitigate through this world, to make others think that we are more interesting and bigger, and that is the solution of our ego to counter that sense of incompleteness we have in us, that hole we have in us, that emptiness we have in us. Okay, we try to counter that with a false self-creation, a crafting of a false self-persona that we live out until we come to our senses and want more than that, realizing, this is false. As we increase this heart resonance, it's going to start informing us that false self-persona is false. That's why we're doing what we're doing here on this channel. The demagnetizing the mind, magnetizing the heart, and getting out of that false self persona, dropping it, dissolving it into a more authentic self. Okay, that's what we're after here. We must start considering more seriously what opening the door to the inner kingdom is all about. Okay, we have to, it's available to us now, much more so than it ever has been in the past. That's part of Christ's message has been completely forgotten. No one is doing it. No Christian is, is saying, well, I got to the door of the inner kingdom and I opened it up and high five. It's not happening. Okay, it's been dropped. We want to read the Bible and do what the Bible says and do good acts and be a good Christian, go to church. But what is opening the door to the inner kingdom? Let me tell you something. Christ isn't coming back. The deal is that we're all waiting around for Christ to come back. That's not going to happen. He's not coming back. He did his job. Now, in this time space, 2024 and on, we're the return of the King. It's us that is going to take Christ's lessons and manifest them, and it is us. It's up to us to carry on the mantle. He did his job. And he paid a big price for it. If he were to come back today, it would be the same thing all over again. They would claim in the Revelations, apparently in the Bible, there's going to be the story of a false Christ coming, a false Christ coming, that's really going to be Satan in disguise. And people are going to worship him, and the real Christ is going to come and condemn the people who worship the false Christ. That whole story, not really. That's one of the things in Revelations. But so that's what they would declare. He would have to do the same thing all over again. He had to tell the Pharisees that they were living a false religion, a false idea of God, and they killed him for it. He has to come back now and tell most of our Christian religions, which were founded on his words, that they've turned the wrong way, and it'd be better if they dissolved and started all over again. And they're not going to like that. Okay? You really think that everybody's going to go, okay, Jesus, that's what we'll do? They're not going to like that. Because it's been a misapprehension at its best, and a power organization at its worst. And he's going to have to do that all over again. It's not his job anymore. He did his job. He's here. He's the leader of this whole ascension process. So he's here. But this is our job now. Okay, we're the return of Christ. We're the return of life. We're the return of the King. Okay? It's us. It's our job now. He did his. Now we're going to have to do ours. Every time you see a struggling person on a bench somewhere that looks like he's down and needs help, and you slide over, and with kind gestures and kind words you share some of your light, you're the Christ. You become the Christ. You become life. You become the return of the King. Okay? Every time you have a challenging inner situation, and you decide to express your own inner divinity, and you treat yourself with the tenderness, thoughtfulness, and care in these places we used to condemn. You treat yourself carefully, and you lift yourself out with love. You become Christ. You become life. You become the return of the King. Every time we go inward and increase our inner flame and our inner light, and we observe this dense 3D world begin to dissolve around us, we become Christ. We become life. We become the return of the King. Every time you feel and live that the advancement in consciousness is our new currency moving forward, not money, not the accumulation of money. It's the advancements of inner consciousness, of beingness. That's the new currency. Every time you do that, you become Christ. You become life. You become the return of the King. Do you see? Every time you release, you're clenched of the fists around the money you have and the accumulated monies you have, and you open up that hand and you begin to share that money. You become Christ. You become life. You become the return of the King. Any new relationship you enter with the mindset of what you have to give to this relationship, not what you have to get from it. You become Christ. You become life. You become the return of the King. Okay? On this singular day, on any singular day, this one day, there are no yesterdays, there will be no tomorrows, there's just this one day. You live the tenderness of the heart. You live the kindness of the heart. You live the goodness of the heart. You live the humility of the heart. You live the authenticity of the heart. You live the stillness of the heart. You become life. You become Christ. You become the return of the King. All right? Any day you move through that day, when there's gentleness and kindness all around, in the very air, all around you, you become Christ. You become life. You become the return of the King. Anytime you refuse judgment and allow and accept another, anytime you refuse to argue with them and to try to understand them instead, I don't argue anymore. You become life. You become the Christ. You become return of the King. All right? Anytime we become a simple conscious act, however small, to help save Mother Earth, we become Christ. We become the life. We become the return of the King. Okay? Every time you look at another that you previously thought it was more and bigger and more grand and just superior to you, and you are no longer threatened by that person you once thought of as more, you become Christ. You become the life. You become the return of the King. Okay? It's our job now. Christ isn't coming back. We are the birth of the new Christ consciousness of earth. It's our job now. He did his job, and now it is our job. And opening the door to the inner kingdom, after we reach that heart center, opening the door to the inner kingdom is the grand finale of all of this. Okay? And just everything I've just said, compare that to creating and crafting a false persona. Okay? That's the anti, that's the contra to everything I've just said here that is going to represent us becoming the Christ, becoming the life, and becoming the return of the King. You got that? Jeff Africa's Last Dance. The channel where we're making it to the heart. And these four, Mother Earth, Divine Mother, Paramahansa Yogananda, Jesua Ben Joseph, are sitting on my shoulders, getting me to where I want to go here. A heart-centered being, expressing a heart-centered life. An illumined being that are able to receive, perceive, sense, and feel the divine presence within me and all around me. I know this is possible. I've seen it before. All right? And with them at my side, on my shoulders, in my heart, I can't fail this mission. We all are going to become return of the Christ, the return of life on this planet, and the return of the King. Okay? Let's not forget that. All right. Next time. Bye.